Welcome back to the show. Still tea time on Plus TV Africa, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I told you earlier, it's Monday, Motivational Monday. We have somebody really, really interested in the building. If you've seen movies like Jagun, if you've seen wait on, let me read out the movie. Gangs of Lagos, and recently A Tribe Called Judah. You were like, okay, and I'm not talking about Funke Akindele, or just you guys calm down.
And it's even beyond that. There's also House of Secrets. There's Mikolo, like.
It was what's in it, you know? What's all of foul?
This guy on a roll.
All right, we have Tolu Obanro. Obanro.
You got it right.
Yeah, I don't like murdering people's names because I've been for events and I call and the man sends his PA to me like, it is not, you don't spell my name and put honorable. It's okay, sorry. Honorable Chief Artist Kora in the building. He's a Nigerian film composer. He made the score for Gangs of Lagos 2023, Jagun 2023, A Tribe Called Judah 2023, Brotherhood 2022, and so many others. So this man right here is the brain behind a lot of amazing scores. By scores I mean songs, because some people want to say which one is scores. It's a number, so you have to explain to people. Like the winning scores by the only Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Thank you so much.
Good morning. It's fine. How was your commute down here? Let's start with that.
Brother, traffic is crazy. Fuel is crazy. People are very, very temperamental. People are easily reacting to don't even scratch me.
Don't even come close to me.
Yeah, don't even if you near me.
It looks like you had road rage. You
have road rage in Lagos.
I will damn you.
Well, is the corner you do it like slightly, then you remember who you are, then you calm down a little more.
Let's take like some steps back. Yeah. Before all these amazing big scores you put your fingers on, what was the first dream? What was the first thing? Like, okay, before all this came about and you delved this way, what was the first? It was like when I said, I want you to be able to grow up. I want to be doing score for something. Was that the dream? What was the first?
I wanted to be a doctor. But that's like the way. So, and I studied geology, actually, petroleum geology from Mina. You know this kind, you carry your certificate, you are very sure because you came out with good grades, and then you're like, when you get this job, you know.
My goodness.
Then I did that for a while. I saw it wasn't going to work, and each time I just faced somewhere to do something, music was always facing me. So imagine going to like a very big establishment that, okay, this is an oil company, this is my CV, and they're like, hey, what other thing do you do? What do you do during leisure? I love music. Yeah, and I have a church. It was always like that until I was like very young. So until like maybe 2014. But I was already doing music on the side. Like, I love this.
So you're doing music on the side as an artist? Like when
as a producer.
As a producer?
Yeah. So I like done quite, so I'll tell you some of them. So I did that for a while. Then, when I started producing, I got tired of how people were mixing my sound. I was like, I'm going to have to mix my stuff myself. So I started mixing and mastering. I got tired of got tired of sound engineering. It wasn't like, I was like, okay, at age 50, Tolu, will you still carry your tummy and put on the mixer? we
had this conversation this morning.
Right.
We had this conversation this morning. Like
what's the
conversation? I didn't know that, but that pushed me to like, okay, can't I just try doing adverts? I think first time when I tried, I did something for Ethiopia Airlines. I was looking for how to get it to them because I listen to radio a lot and I'm like, this advert is not working for these people. This is not working. But Nigeria, we had all these agencies and all that. I had to look for an agency. I started working with one, so I made a lot of adverts. I made a lot of this. I got tired of that too. I tried MTN. I think I recorded a few to copy this tune, press that.
You did that?
I did some, yeah. So, but it was always changing.
Yeah.
I think I started with the Christmas one that year. I don't remember. So, I think I was also doing that, gaining archives and looking for more until then. I did a lot of gospel songs, so I decided, okay.
Well, gospel song is always the pathway to all this.
So maybe the kind of life I will want to live is not the type I find doing the regular hip-hop songs and things like that then. So I started doing gospel songs. I've done some very interesting songs. I did You Are God, You Are Not Just Because I think that's one of the most popular. Man. I worked a lot with Mike Abdul, a lot of his songs, Monique. I've done stuff.
The very first major break into the movie industry was what year, and how did that start?
So the very first one will be King of Thieves. It was just 2-3 years ago, and I don't think I've had a week break since then. But before then, I was always doing my music on the side, like producing on the side and doing some movies on the side. And people were like, can you help us score this movie? I just do it. And one of those movies was King of Boys. I was part of King of Boys,
Wow.
Your Excellency, a lot of all that in the past. Then the first major one that I really had time to really concentrate on was Prophetess.
Oh, Toyema.
Yes,
okay.
that was the first major one, and then that was where I met Nia Kimolaya. Like, Kai, you have to do this. And I went, no, people don't get paid doing this.
Thank you.
I was from there, right?
Yeah, so, but you realize people get paid doing this. You are not getting paid doing this and all that. So that's how, I mean, the offer was good.
So how did you get to this point? Because usually in Nigeria, the mindset we have towards scoring music for movies is different from the ones we have abroad. Like abroad, if you're scoring music for a movie, like it's always top notch. People go back to. I've seen situations where people go back to download the particular music for.
I do that a lot.
Right? But in Nigeria, the reverse is always the case. Like they really don't consider people who score. So when that opportunity came to you, did you at any point think that no, you were not going to take it?
Okay, so when I saw the way movies were being done, it was definitely not the way I would do it. Along the line hustling, I did some radio programs, you know, and if they say, come and do radio program, I'm like, okay, radio program. So doing those radio programs, I cleaned a lot of dialogue. Now, all the things I've learned doing all that is everything I find doing movies. You have to interpret the advert. It must sound the way people, it must sound very believable. Whatever it is you are trying to present. Are you trying to emotionally blackmail people to buy? Are you trying to build confidence in your product to buy? All that is what you do when you make movies. So that aside, I think, yeah, basically, that's what I did.
Yeah, so how are you able to interpret, you know, when a scriptwriter writes something and then a director already has a vision for it, it's a different thing entirely for the person that is going to write the music.
Yeah.
So how do you just think about how to bring the director and the scriptwriter's vision to play without overshadowing the storytelling? Because if you listen to some songs,
so I remember that I lost my line of thought. So that's when the first movie came to me from the last question. I was like, I can't do it the regular way. I have to do it in a way that you will ask, who made this sound? And that was King of Thieves. I was like, the way I want to do this thing, will people really accept it? And you were like, you are free, anything you want to do. I was like, think what? They think Troy, think. I was like, are you sure? It was like, yes, do anything else. And that was it for King of Thieves. So subsequently, Gangs of Lagos, everybody wanted that kind of intensity. And I can tell you for sure that it's not just sitting behind the piano and making sounds. It was beyond. You went to like bringing like a 20-man percussionist, like no, just orchestral percussion, no violins. That was for Gangs. We had that. We had people sit down and listen to what we wanted the score to sound like. You listen to the beginning, you know that these drums are not just ordinary. You see that they are really intentional. All the sounds. For the bad guy, we had the knife, so I had to look for 2 knives to actually scratch together to get that sound, and I built the sound. So I just started keeping up with the level of production that way.
I'm going to call it your industry now, because trust me, you're not in our industry. Your industry, which is scoring for major flicks like this, like how lucrative is it in Nigeria? How can a normal regular kid right now watching you, I'm like, this but how can I get to that point? Please don't go and study petroleum. You can. You might not work for it. You never go and do you educate yourself. You ever get there, right? How lucrative is it in Nigeria? Is it an industry that is growing, getting to that point, or you think it's an industry that might just fizzle out by the time they'll say, okay, you know what, the video or something?
Right?
Yeah, you can get to that level, but you know, at every point in time when you know that you have nothing else to hold on to, you have to make sure you are the brightest in the room. for that particular part. If you're not the brightest, you're among the brightest in the room. So it's part of what I try to do in everything I lay my hands on. I prefer not doing it at all than doing it in a kind of way. Okay, let me give you an example. Jagu Jagu. It was the first time you hear that a post-production person went on set to a production set. I had to convince the directors and producers, like, please let me just go. And start developing, picking sounds from there. Before I left that place, the trailer was ready. I don't think anybody has beat that yet. So that's the kind of thinking. You have to always think ahead. You want to do more. I had to drag chains on the floor to get the sound, tone it down, look for where it is. That was the beginning sound you heard when the bad guy came in. I had to make sure that when the guy shows up, he's a kingmaker, bad guy, but a kingmaker. Yoruba people like to introduce kings with drums. What kind of drums can I give this guy with a dark tune to show that he's a bad kingmaker? So there's a lot of thinking, a lot of process. I mean, you have to be able to think outside the box. A lot of people are very good. So what we separate you is, what can I do differently? So I think that's what.
Okay, go on.
What you just said now, do you at any point think that computer production is going to take over live production? Because all these sounds now are literally online.
Really, you have to know both. You can. There's no way computer. I mean, I don't know. AI will even describe people's emotion the way you, as a human, will describe people's emotion. They can give you something close, but they can't tell you. For House of Secret, for example, they can't tell you Sean is going to take out that glasses, then slow it down. Then when he removes it, continue with a slide piano, then build it back into the original. No AI will do that. So, I mean, it will still take some time before people developing that will get there. I'm sure by the time they want to do that, they might even want to consult you. So it's a lot of work, and everybody's also working to be high up there when that time comes.
All right. Do you have people? Do you have young ones who you bring under your wing, under your platform, and try and grooming them to be? And if somebody wants to, even like me, so even though I don't old, but if I say like to do fun now,
is it only because you're old or you don't even know music?
Well, we get there. It's not every day everybody knows
small now.
Small.
Don't discourage
one
this
day.
This is like what? Do you think music is something that you just wake up on and say, oh,
you are discouraging this.
So do you have people like that under your belt? That
yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I get a lot of DMs of different people just trying to. I mean, even people that have studied the theater themselves, people that studied music that I didn't study, they just want to know how I'm able to like put that sound together. And from maybe from 20, I take one, maybe like 3 at a time. I think I have like 4 now.
And that's you giving back to the society.
So what's your most challenging project that you've worked on so far? The one that stressed you, that made you feel like I
bet you take your money back and go home. I'm done with this.
I think I always enjoy my job, so I think the challenging one would be the most recent one, because I always want to build on the last one. Well, yeah, Tribe was quite challenging. We needed to try called Judah, let's think church, let's think this, let's think that. So instead of the regular, I'm going to play drums, I had to start thinking of how can I bring out a cultural sound that is still going to be within the scope of movies. Now, if I'm not telling you, you won't think you were hearing Kerubo, CNS. You won't think about it. Do you understand? So every of those projects are like built around something. If you like House of Secret, for example, I followed every movement, every camera. Gangs of Lagos, for example, when Oba was a kid, you will hear slight Eyo sound, and as it kept growing, that Eyo sound kept growing until it became mobile. Then I played the full thing. So those are kind of intentionality.
I've learned, how can we reach you? Before we get to that, what's the next project for you personally? I know you might not want to disclose the next big one, but I know there's something cooking. For you personally, do you see yourself going into the movie industry full time? Like, I want to produce my own movie, I want to direct my own movie, and probably I might just make some cameos here and there, do acting. Are you
I'm not going to act, but I don't mind doing the...
You can't act at all?
No, it's not like I can't, but I think I'm better behind the scene, so if I'm going to do something...
But you've been on radio a couple of times,
right? yeah. Okay. TV too, but...
On TV too.
But...
Does that make you a good actor?
I think I've acted before too, but, when you continue to grow, and then you understand the kind of work you need to do on the aspect you've chosen, then you would think that you need to focus your energy doing that. So, yeah.
So how do we reach you on all your socials? How do we, now that's your camera right there, just tell people how to reach you if you are searching at the same time. But I'm sure you will never say you're searching. He said, no, I'm married to my work. My work is my love.
I'm not searching, but you can check me out on Tolu Obanro. Just Tolu Obanro everywhere.
That's why I thought you were going to say Tinder. You can check that. What is it? You
Sorry,
can check
what's
out
Tinder again?
Okay. You know, anyway, before we let you go, I'm just going to ask you just a random fun question, just to because I'm sure you must have seen it also. So, okay, so they have 35 cows right, on the field, right? It's quite simple. 34 cows are on the field and 28 chicken. How many didn't?
What?
That's the question. 34 cows on the field, right? And 28 chicken. How many didn't?
Didn't what?
That's the question.
Wait, does it sound like a question?
It does sound like a question. 34 cows on the field, 28 chicken. How many didn't?
How many didn't what?
I like the confusion. Yeah, 28 chicken. How many didn't?
Oh, 28 chicken. Oh, wow. Is that like a 20?
Okay, I thought 20 chopped chicken.
Did you say 28?
Oh. How many didn't?
Oh.
So just go ahead, just come on.
Just come
on the
28 and 28.
I get it. It's been amazing. We gotta go. This is what we enjoyed the courses today. But thank you for watching. As usual, you can join the hashtag. You can join the program with the hashtag Tea Time. You can also follow on all our social media platforms and also subscribe to our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. You can also watch Tea Time on R2 TV. And if you're in the United Kingdom, you can watch it on Ben Television and right here in Nigeria on DSTV channel 408. A massive, massive, massive thank you to everybody who's been part of the show, the whole production team. Thank you very much. Abdul, for the first time, I didn't mention your name, even though you can be somehow. But Abdul, my director, Kayode, Precious for coming to Ore for just looking, and carry the camera back. 007, thank you very much for being you. And Tolu, thank you so very much for blessing us. Me. And when we call you next time, who you answer? You answer or talk to my manager.
No, it's not happening. Don't worry. I'll answer. I always answer my call. Oh yeah, no.
Do you know how much this man spends on fuel every week? I know Shemi, go and be pricing the Praku price. No. You know how much he spends on fuel every week? You were telling us how much he spends on fuel weekly. I'm just saying. You gotta go. Do not drink and drive. Put God first and the rest is history. Drink a lot of water and mind your business. It helps you live long. We out.